Matt Stepp and Dave Campbell's Texas Football back here at the 90th Annual Texas High School Coaches Association and Convention in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. We are here with the head coach of those Killeen Shoemaker Gray Wolves, Coach Toby Foreman. Coach, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
We always got to have you over here. And a couple of years ago, when we interviewed, I think I might be your good luck charm. The lucky underwear that you had before, I think it's really me. I'm the good luck charm. So we interviewed, and you've had a couple of great years, and then we didn't interview last year. And I don't want to take the blame for it, but I'll take the blame for the bad year. Not the bad year, but the down year a little bit.
You're the difference. There's no doubt. I mean, I'm a superstitious guy. We talked about that last time, and I didn't get a chance to come talk in the booth last year, and we fell off. So it may be your touch on the programs. What's the difference is?
No, I doubt that. I think it's got a lot to do with those kids, and you got a good group of kids coming back, and we'll talk about them in a minute. But I want to talk about coaching school first. You're the son of a coach. You said 15 coaches in your family.
15. I'm 16.
So you've been to a few coaching schools here. How awesome is it to come here every year? It kind of kicks off football season. You get to see some guys that maybe your dad coached with and you've coached with, and then now, I don't want to date you, but you've been around a little while. You're probably seeing kids that you coached that are now coaching.
That is correct. I ran into several former players yesterday, the first day of the convention, and Brock Sherrod, he's coaching out West Texas. Several young men I'm very proud of that are part of the West Orange Stark staff that we coached them there. And they're just really all over, and that says a lot. This is year 22 for me in coaching, but I started coming here.
Did you come here when you were a kid?
I see the families walking around here, and I always tell those dads, man, you're doing a great thing because those kids will always remember this time. I can always remember coming here, and the big deal was me and my sister got to pick out a T-shirt. There was always the one vendor that always sold T-shirts real cheap, but that was a big deal, And this trip, it rotates around coaching school, and it's been in San Antonio, which is a great venue, great location the last couple of years. But, as a kid, you just look forward to this weekend and falling into this week. And it just was a great experience because you got to experience it with your dad and with your family.
It's an awesome experience. And now you, as an adult and as a coach, you're here, and this is kind of the start of football season. When you leave here, it's time to get to work, and it's time to get it rolling. And everybody's antsy, everybody's undefeated, so they're feeling good about themselves, But when you walk out those doors and you get in the car and you head back to Killeen, it's time to get rolling, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And one thing. The work never stops. My emails are all attached to my phone, so I'm answering emails when we're here. But you do get to get away a little bit with your staff, almost like a retreat, and spend some time with them, let them kind of cut loose a little bit. And you're right, Tuesday morning we'll exit here and we'll head back home. And there's a 2 p.m. workout waiting on our older kids, and we'll all be a part of that. And once we get back, boom, it starts. And really it starts until – somebody knocks us out of the playoffs or we win the whole thing.
You're hoping it goes to Christmas,
right? Exactly right.
That's the goal.
That's exactly right.
That's the goal. You guys headed 2022. A little bit of change this year with realignment and the opening of a new high school there in Killeen ISD. I talked to Coach Edwards from Harker Heights yesterday, and we talked about realignment. They're the only 6A school left. You guys are dropping down to 5A Division I, and realignment kind of threw a little bit of a curveball there because you guys are in a district that a lot of people didn't see coming, where you're coming into the Metroplex. How surprised were you in February when realignment came out and you got your new district?
I always say, never surprised me where we end up at, but this did surprise me. I'm not gonna lie. It was, when you end up with Red Oak, Granbury, Cleburne, Midlothian, when you go that far, and you've been really, really tight, because all the Killeen schools, Belton, Cove, Temple, Midway, some Waco High. We haven't had to travel that far for district games, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I know dropping down from 6A to 5A is going to be huge for us. Our numbers probably supported that the last 2 realignments. It just didn't happen. And but I've coached in 5A ball for a long time as well when I first started West Orange Stark, and then when I was at Beaumont Central the whole time. It's not a walk in the park there now.
No.
There's still some folks that can play some football.
Yeah, but from a numbers standpoint and a depth standpoint, you guys are a little more and looking at your ball club in 2022, I feel like you guys were pretty young last year.
We were.
You played a lot of young guys, and that's a it's a tough thing when you're playing all the young guys, and it gives you gray hair when those sophomores are making those sophomore mistakes. Now those kids are a year older. They got those 10 games under their belts. I think that experience is something that's going to be a strength for you guys heading into 2022. Would you agree?
No doubt. And we had a very good freshman team, went 9-1. We were a point away from being the first 10-0 team to ever participate at Shoemaker High School. And, so the youth was really successful, and we played a lot of youth on the varsity. This will be, you said it perfect with the depth. I mean, 6A depth, when you're rolling up against the Midways and the Temples and, even Jerry at Harker Heights, and they've got more depth than we do, and that matters late in the year.
Yeah.
You go down the stretch, and I don't make excuses. Last year we did have a lot of injuries. Yeah. We should have done better down the stretch. We lost some close games we shouldn't have, or we had an opportunity to win. But with that being said, that depth piece is a big deal, especially up front with the line.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is as strong as our lines have been since year one of me being here on to, when I was at Texas High, when I was at Beaumont Central. I mean, we have good depth and a lot of experience on both sides of the ball, and that is key, especially up front.
And if you want to win football games when it gets cold in November and December, you better have some good depth up front, right?
If you want to be in games in November and December, you better have some good depth up front. That's how I look at it.
All right, final question before we let you out of here, Coach. We talked about coaching school and all the mentorship, and you mentioned, your dad was a coach, and I know he was a big mentor as far as you. Even when you were a young coach, you could ask him questions and that kind of thing. Who were some of your other mentors that mentored you as a young coach and have helped you get to where you are today?
Man, there have been so many as a youngster. On the West Orange Stark staff in the 80s, you had Dan Hooks, of course. That is my guy. I attribute a lot of my success to him. I paid very close. I was a ball boy since I was real little. But Dan Hooks, Thomas Brooks, who went on to be the head coach at Waxahachie, Jasper, John Tyler, Ozan. Of course, you got my father. You got Cornell Thompson. I mean, just Charles Broussard. He was the head coach at Cleveland for a little while. I mean, there was probably Bob Byerly, who had been the head coach at Waco La Vega. I think there was 7 head coaches at one time on that staff.
Wow.
And that's, I mean, when you're around those guys, and then even as a young coach, Barry Norton coached me, state championship at Texas High, and I went and worked for him. Dick Olin, I worked for at Baytown Lee. I've been very, very blessed to work for some unbelievable coaches. And, it's up to me to take what I got from them, what they put in me, and put that in. And that's why I'm so excited that I have, a lot of former players that are getting into coaching or getting into the profession, because I don't think this is a dying profession, but I do think it is difficult for young people to get in and stay in. It's challenging. Yeah. And it just, brings a tear to my eye to see, coming to coaching school. I'm 44. I've been doing this for 22 years. I feel like the older guy now, but I'm kind of in the middle. I'm in my prime, baby. I can go.
There you go. Yeah.
But I had a lot of great coaches that mentored me when I was young, and failing's not an option, because I'm representing those guys and all that they mean to me and all that they did for me.
You don't want Coach Hooks to come over here and get on to you, do you?
Big balls. We called him Big Balls.
There you go.
No, I don't. Sometimes, he'll call sometimes. We win a big game, whatnot. When I go home, I try to go visit him. But that's my guy. Dan Hooks I would never be without my father for sure, but I would never be where I'm at without Dan Ray Hooks, and he's meant so much to me, and I love the guy to death. I think he's about to turn 84 here sometime soon, and he's just glad to have him around and still able, to be a part of football.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on the success you've had there at Shoemaker. Good luck in 2022, and appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Steppen. We appreciate everything you do for all the coaches and the student athletes in this state and beyond.
Thanks, Coach.